The all-new 22 Civic, now on sale at Team Honda on Siegen Lane.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bug Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping all is well with you and yours in your world. Since 24 hours ago, when we had the privilege of spending a little time with you. We start today's show with an addendum to yesterday's show. If you were with us yesterday, and particularly if you weren't, we spent a considerable amount of time talking about the real troubling trend of how the left has demonized people in this country that will not take the COVID-19 vaccine. Hollywood, the mainstream media, social media, Democrats have gone out of their way to call their fellow Americans morons and idiots and selfish SOBs and the whole nine. And we talked about how if that weren't bad enough that they took these liberties, we now find out the number one statistically group of people that won't take the shot are Democrats. And did we mention? Yes, we did. They're one race, African Americans. We also talked about the fact that it's not bad enough that they call folks, their fellow Americans and party members, all these ugly names, but they're using it as an opportunity to attempt to take your rights, your freedoms, and your liberties. What I did not mention yesterday, that is just as, if not more egregious than anything else, is the fact that there is a sizable percentage of people of color in this country that don't trust the shot and will not take the shot because you told them not to. Remember in the presidential campaign leading up to the election, both Kamala Harris and Joe Biden told the American public, we don't mind telling you, if Donald Trump had anything to do with this vaccine, I wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't take it. And black people, being the loyal Democrats that they are, took their advice. They don't trust it, and they're not going to take it. So because they took your advice, now you want to call them all sorts of ugly names and take their rights, their freedoms, and their liberties. You see how they play you? This is the same group of people that told you to psych you into voting for them. I wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't have anything to do with it. If Donald Trump had anything to do with it, I wouldn't trust it. But now they want to force you to take it. And if that doesn't work, we'll take some rights, some freedoms, and some liberties, being the good Democrats that you are. You see how they play you? You took their advice, and this is how they pay you back. Meanwhile, the debacle in Afghanistan continues. The White House yesterday announcing that President Joe Biden has not spoken to any other world leaders since the Taliban took control of Kabul, the capital city in Afghanistan. Quote, he has not yet spoken with any other world leaders. That's White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan in answering questions yesterday. He went on to say, quote, right now, the main issue is an operational issue. White House press secretary, who cut her vacation short, Jen Psaki, adding, it's an operational focus. It includes coordination at a lower level than leaders and heads of state. The president worked throughout the entire weekend, insisting that he's monitoring the situation hour by hour. Kind of seems how quickly the Taliban are running roughshod over there, hour by hour. Meanwhile, Nancy Pelosi, the good Democrat that she is, trying to run cover for Joe Biden. You know, if you have ever been in a situation where you had to dig a hole big enough for you to fit in, at some point you start to realize, you know what, if I keep digging, I'll never get out of this hole. Obviously, Nancy Pelosi has never met a shovel in her life. She has no clue that every time she opens her mouth, she digs the hole deeper and deeper. Yesterday, when talking about Afghanistan, she, in attempting to bolster the president's image, said, well, by withdrawing, we're reducing the chance of there being a terrorist attack on us. So let me get this straight. You hand over an entire country to terrorists. You give them billions of dollars of instruments of war. And because you didn't plan your withdrawal the way you should have, now we potentially will have tens of thousands of people let into this country that may or may not be affiliated with terrorists, And you think this will reduce the chance of there being a terrorist attack. You know, if it weren't so sad, it might actually be funny. But these are people's lives we're talking about here, y'all. This is our future we're talking about. And the inmates are running the asylum. Fortunately, there are some folks out there that are willing to tell you the truth. For example, former CIA analyst Matt Zeller, making an appearance on MSNBC yesterday on the show Deadline, made no bones about the fact that President Joe Biden lied to the American people during his address on the situation in Afghanistan. Quote, "I feel like I watched a different speech than the rest of the media. I was appalled. There was such a profound, bald-faced lie in that speech. The idea that we planned for every contingency. I've personally been trying to tell this government that this was coming. We sent them plan after plan after plan on how to evacuate these people. Nobody listened." Here's the rub from this former CIA analyst. Get this. I'm not going to sit and list eastbound for a president that I voted for. I was happy when this man took office. Now I'm appalled. I am not going to sit here and have him lie to the American people. We did not plan as a government for this contingency. This is a guy who, bless his heart, is honest enough to say, yeah, I voted for him. I had high hopes. I was happy when he won. But after listening to what he told the American people, I'm appalled. Ironically, you should be too. Just saying. Just saying. First break of today's show. Because we were a little discombobulated yesterday, we didn't get to it. So today, we make up for what we missed yesterday. When we come back, in response to the ever-growing level of stupid in this country, day late, but not a dollar short. Up next, another edition of Now That's Just Stupid on the Clarence Bugg Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club.
a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystonCountryClub.com.
Go where summer leads you in an award-winning Mazda CUV. Find yours during Mazda's season of discovery.
Call, click, or come by and discover your new Mazda today at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bud Show. During the last commercial break, I snuck a look at one of the monitors here on the set, and Fox News is reporting as we speak reports of gunfire erupting outside the airport in Kabul, in the capital of Afghanistan. I will attempt during the course of the show to stay abreast of any developments in that regard, and if anything warrants, we will be sure to pass that along to you and yours. In response to, painfully, I add, the ever-growing level of stupidity that we witness these days, we've instituted a new segment entitled, Now That's Just Stupid. You'll notice, however, as the graphic shows you, this is not the traditional STUPID. That would be just regular, run-of-the-mill, ordinary, stupid. What we're talking about here necessitates, requires, calls for a unique spelling all its own. STOOPID, as in, now that's just stupid. We start with the home of fake news, CNN, LOL. We've all known for quite some time now that the media, bless their little old hearts, have such a disconnect with reality that it's frightening. Some of the things the media will feed us and hope we believe can fall nowhere other than the category of, now that's just stupid. I mean, these are the same people that will tell you that you can magically change gender. Same people will tell you that there's nothing wrong with 265-pound guy competing against a woman. The same people that will tell you that they are so concerned about mothers and babies and the children, and yet support abortion, okay? So we already know that there is this ever-growing, widening divide between the media, particularly the mainstream, and reality. For example, Clarissa Ward is, and I use this term loosely, a journalist, reporter for CNN. And she's in Afghanistan as all of this Taliban takeover is unfolding. So she's interviewing some members of the Taliban. And in the report she says, quote, locals are chanting, "Death to America." In the same sentence, mind you, she then says, after saying, locals are chanting, "Death to America," and yet they seem friendly at the same time. It's bizarre. Marty's sitting here like, they're chanting, "Death to America," but they seem friendly. You can't make this stuff up. Oh, you thought I was going to slip, didn't you? You thought I was going to slip, didn't you? You were waiting. Not yet. You said stuff. You can't make this stuff up, y'all. They're chanting "Death to America," but they seem friendly. And you have to wonder why CNN's ratings are an embarrassment. They are chanting "Death to America," but they seem friendly. Tell you what, turn that camera off and see what happens. Speaking of, now that's just stupid. This week, Russia, well, actually, the end of last week, Russia and OPEC sent a message, a response to the White House regarding Joe Biden's request that OPEC and Russia put more oil out on the world's markets so that we can hold the price down. I mean, everybody knows, the economy shut down because of COVID and this, that, and the other, and Americans are trying to get back to work. They're trying to get businesses restarted. Gas prices are exploding. It's killing the recovery. So Russia and OPEC said to Joe Biden's request, pretty much, thumb the nose, yeah, that's to your request. So, being the deep thinker that he is, drawing upon his 40-plus years that he is so proud of serving in government, what does he do? Does he ramp up production of our refineries? Does he instead, no? Does he maybe, I don't know, have second thoughts and reinstitute the Keystone XL pipeline? No. You know what he does? After OPEC and Russia turn him down, he then decides, you know what? When I canceled Keystone, I also put a moratorium on drilling for oil and gas on federal lands. Last week, the courts said, excuse me, Mr. President, you don't have that authority. We're wiping this out. So now, since OPEC and Russia decided, nah, we're not going to help you out, Joe, what does he do? he appeals the court ruling. So wait a minute, Joe. Wait. Hold on. Back up the bus. The courts said you don't have the authority to stop the drilling on federal lands. We need the additional oil and gas to try and keep as much economic pain off of the American motoring public. And your solution to this is to challenge the courts so that you can keep drilling off the plate? Really, bruh? I mean, economics 001, not 101. Simple supply and demand. We have the demand. Demand's going through the roof. And what do? You go out of your way to mitigate our own supply. You will ask OPEC and Russia, are you freaking kidding me? You will ask them for more oil, but you will fight not to drill here. That, my friends, is the epitome of STOOPID. Stupid. And that is from the leader of the freaking free world. You miss me yet? That's what DJ T says every morning, first thing when he gets out of bed. America, miss me yet? Think about that. The next time you go and stick that nozzle in your car and your wallet is a whole lot lighter, thanks, Joe. Thanks, Democrats. Way to go. Bottom of the hour break. When we get back, something else you can thank the Democrats for. 70% of Americans, when the last time we agreed on anything pretty much other than Joe Biden and his administration horribly botched Afghanistan? I'm going to tell you what 70% of our fellow Americans feel. Thanks, Joe. Next on the Clarence Bugg Show. Sit tight.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with The Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bugg Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
Hello, guys. It's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. In the last segment, we talked a little bit about the disconnect between the media and the American people. I don't know about you, but I've been blessed to be around long enough to have watched painfully, I might add, all of this unfold. Believe it or not, young people, prior to the internet age, we as Americans actually trusted the media. I know it's hard to believe. I know. I get it. But we actually could sit down on any given night of the week, consume news, whether it were state, national, international, and we could come away feeling good about it. Primarily because of two things. One, the media gave us just the facts. There wasn't all this opinionated ballyhooing, just the facts. Secondly, after receiving the aforementioned facts, we were then free to make up our own minds, come to our own conclusion, and not have to worry about being canceled or censored because our ultimate opinion was different from that of the media or the politicians. Believe it or not, there was a time in this country where that actually existed. So fast forward to today. I don't know if history will be as kind or as accurate as it should be. But if nothing else, Donald J. Trump exposed to this country and the world just how deep and disconnected the swamp and the left happens to be. For example, not so very long ago, the left told us in no uncertain terms, AOC, crime is not a problem in America. Now, never mind the fact that pretty much any American in any major American city disagreed with that. Never mind that the statistics showed the exact opposite. Never mind the fact that gobs of people that you know would tell you these people are crazy if they think it's not a problem. Well, Rasmussen polling this week came out just yesterday with the results of their new poll regarding crime. The Rasmussen poll shows 70% of our fellow Americans believe crime is, quote, out of control. When is the last time you remember 70% of us agreeing on anything? You know what's interesting about this? Well, Clarence, you got to know the polls. The polls are slanted, and 55% of them are probably your people, them MAGA people, them conservatives. Well, you might be surprised, my friends. This recent rise in violent crime and the opinion that crime has gotten out of control in this country runs across the board. 81% of Republicans, 60% of Democrats, and 68% of independents all agree crime is out of control in this country. Of course, now, the left will have you believe that defunding the police is the way to go. The left will have you believe if we do things like take money out of the police department budget and instead have social deactivators, conflict deactivators, they call them. If we could send in social workers, they could de-escalate the situation before it got bad. At last count, 2 of them already been killed. But the left will have you believe, as AOC said, well, this is all hysteria. Don't get caught up. Don't believe the hype. Who was that, Marty? The rap group that had the album, mega platinum album, Don't Believe the Hype. NWO? NWA? Yeah, NWA. They will have you believe this is all, make-believe. All you have to do, and it's one of the marvelous things about us being in the digital/information age, it's all right there at your fingertips. Whether it's your smartphone, your PC, whatever, it's real easy for you to find out about it. All you have to do is look at a website for a news organization in Oakland. Look at the website for a news organization in LA, Portland, Seattle, Kansas City, St. Louis, Indianapolis, Chicago, Detroit, Newark, Birmingham, Atlanta, New Orleans, Baton Rouge. Go down the list and find out for yourself. When a society that prides itself on being a nation of laws loses touch with those that have elected them to serve, this is a natural outgrowth of what happens. At the end of the day, we're going to have to come to grips with some things in this country, y'all. Because if we don't, the future, I don't think we have one. Americans, by and large, are approaching a tipping point now. We are getting sick and tired of being sick and tired over simple things like the right to lead a peaceful life. We are on track for the worst, criminally speaking, the worst year in the history of this nation. And what is most disheartening to me, those who are most affected by crime are the ones that are being the least served by those who are allegedly in charge. Cities like Chicago, where blood is literally, not figuratively, literally flowing in the streets. And what's being done to fix it? I mean, other than, the incessant finger pointing and the blaming of inanimate objects and an influx of illegal guns from someplace else, yada, yada, blah, 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 blah. What's being done to help these people by those in charge? And yet, the mainstream media, conspicuously absent from the conversation. If you have listened to me for any amount of time over the years, you've heard me say at some point or another, if the people lead, the leaders will follow. Well, it's time, y'all. It's time for us to lead. Because if we don't, at the rate we're going right now, the leaders are going to be the only ones that are left. Of course, now, maybe that's the way they want it. Just saying. Just saying. Final break of today's show, just around the corner. When we come back, before we wrap up, I want to talk about what is, in the grand scheme of the human experience, arguably one of the most disappointing things that we as human beings do to and for one another. And sadly, it seems to be the MO from government. We'll put that big old pretty bow on this puppy after this break and wrap up today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystonecountryClub.com.
Taste the feeling.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back for the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. You know, it occurred to me that I don't want us as Americans to lose sight of the fact that what is happening with the federal government and this disconnect with everyday citizens, I don't want to see this end up being just one additional thing to pit us against each other. The massive, horrific failure of this administration in regards to the situation in Afghanistan is something that should be terribly upsetting to all Americans, whether you are Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever. If individuals affiliated with the Taliban are able to launch a terrorist attack on this country or our fellow Americans in that part of the world, it affects us all. And in case you don't know, the Taliban doesn't really care if you're a Democrat or Republican. All they care about is that you're an American. And at the end of the day, your political affiliation will not save you when you are dealing with folks that think like these people do. At the end of the day, if you're an American, not a Republican, not a Democrat, not an Independent, just an American, you should be seriously perturbed about what's going on at our southern border. If you are an American, regardless of your political affiliation, left, right, somewhere in between, doesn't matter, you should be seriously disturbed about the number of people being allowed to walk into this country, not tested, not vaccinated, and then sent places without governors, mayors, councils, anybody being told, we're dropping these folks off in your community. If you are an American, whether you are Democrat, Republican, Independent, you should be concerned about the explosion in crime in major cities all across this country. Here's where I'm going with this. Typically, the party that is not in power is the one that spends more time riding herd on their elected representatives. And maybe it's just a part of the human experience. I won't ascribe one theory over another. But typically, if Democrats are in charge and do something that conservative voters don't like, conservative voters then let their elected representatives know, look, y'all need to fight this because this is not good for America. In this particular instance, those of you that voted Democrat, those of you that supported and support still the Biden administration, you are the ones they need to hear from. How many veterans support the Democrat ideology? You are the ones that need to call your representative and let them know you don't appreciate how this situation's being handled. If you are African American and voted Democrat, well, Joe Biden says you have to vote Democrat or you ain't black. If you're black and voted Democrat, you need to let your Democrat elected officials know that you're sick and tired of the black community bearing the brunt of all the violence that's going on across this country. You are the ones they respect. See, if I call as a conservative, they're going to blow me off. But he wasn't going to vote for us anyway, so why do we have to worry about what he thinks and what he says? But you, on the other hand, being the loyal Democrat that you are, they will listen to you. And ironically, the only way your life is going to get better is if you make them listen to you. See, we've fallen into the trap as Americans, the trap that they baited for us. They have us going at each other's throats all day, every day. And we're so busy harping on each other, so busy attacking each other, so busy, can't wait to tell the other side why you're wrong. They're laughing at us all the way to the bank. Now, if they were only going to the bank, that would be one thing. But they are taking our rights, our freedoms, and our liberties while laughing en route to said bank. There were people that made the ultimate sacrifice so that we wouldn't have to entertain this kind of crap. There were individuals who gave blood, sweat, tears, and lives so that we would be fortunate enough to live under a system of governance where you have to be responsive to our needs or we will kick your sorry behind out. See, they baited us. Many of us now, we go in that sacred polling place. We haven't done any due diligence. We know absolutely nothing about the folks that we are giving the thumbs up to other than what the letter says behind their names. I have to ask, how is that working out for us right about now? We have a guy that will tell you at the drop of a hat, he has spent 40 plus years in service to the American people. And yet, every single challenge that has come his way, he has not only failed at, but failed miserably. Let's keep inflation in check as we restart the economy. Swing and a miss. Let's control the COVID variants. A swing and a miss. Let's get a handle on the ever-exploding crime problem. A swing and a big old miss. Now, Afghanistan, on the international stage, not just a swing and a miss, but fall flat on your face, hit the catcher in the back of the head with the bat, and trip over the umpire on the international stage. How's that working out for us? Listen, y'all, at the end of the day, the whole purpose of the human existence, if you are a person of faith, it is to give God glory. If you are not a person of faith, or if you just simply want to look at it from a secular standpoint, the whole purpose of our existence is to leave for our kids something better than what we had. How you feeling about that so far? Of course, now, you could say, well, the good news is we still got 3 years and 4 months to straighten that all out. You can also make the same argument. The bad news is we still got 3 years and change that is left to go. One can only hope that it'll get better. Now, if you would like your day to get better, this day, well, you need to come on over to 10655 Coursey Boulevard and see the good folks at Bayou Smokehouse, the home of old school barbecue. It is where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. My dear friends, Kevin Gallagher and Bill Profita, I almost said Bill Gallagher and Kevin Profita. They're interchangeable. Either way, they record their show live here. And as a matter of fact, as I very affectionately referred to him, the Kingmaker, Uncle Roy, everybody's favorite crazy uncle, does his podcast here as well. So you never know. Oh, Betsy Barnes and Rocket Right Radio, they record here as well. You never know who you're going to run into when you come to Bayou Smokehouse. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, it truly is the home of old school barbecue. Good people, good food, good atmosphere. Don't you deserve to have all three at the same time? Just a question. Just a question. Listen, if you're one of those folks that doesn't mind settling for 2 out of 3, God bless you. I ain't mad at you. But personally, I think you deserve better. Just saying. And when you decide that's what you want, when you decide that's what you should get, then come on by and see us. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Easy to find, easy to get to. Now, that being said, my time's up, y'all, and I got to go. But this day, maybe more so than any other, I give it to you. You're right. America, we're not perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you realize he loves you, right? And I hope you know that I do too. Then again, there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless.